Hello everyone. So one question have been asked actually, that can you explain this picture? So this picture is basically talking about natural selection, right? And the natural selection here actually it's a stabilizing selection. So we will discuss stabilizing selection, and then we will see here about this particularly this picture. So you all know about natural selection. Natural selection, something. The theory of natural selection was given by our Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin told that if we have a population of individual, and in the time period, those who have better character, those who are more fit, they will get selected, isn't it? And those have inferior kind of character, they will not be selected. Now this natural selection have three types: stabilizing selection, directional selection, and then disruptive selection, right? Here this picture, this picture is related to stabilizing selection. What is stabilizing selection? Try to understand it. With one axis I am taking population, and another axis I am taking character. It is observed that, see, in a population it is observed that sometime in a natural selection it is observed that those who have intermediate kind of character, they will get selected. Those who have extremely high, or those who have extremely low kind of character, they will not be selected in a population. How? I am giving you one example, try to understand it. Like I am taking newborn, human newborn weight. It is observed that, student, the human newborn whose weight is near 2.5 kilogram, they have highest chances of survival, right? When weight will reduce like 2.4 kilogram, 2.2 kilogram, 2 kilogram, 1.8 kilogram, so you see the population is declining, the newborn population dying, they will more vulnerable to death. Okay, why? Because the smaller body, they have less tendency, actually they have more tendency to lose body weight, and they will be, sorry, body weight I'm saying, less weight, and because of that less weight, they have more tendency to lose heat of the body, right? And obviously heat, heat only control everything in that newborn, and they will be more susceptible to infection, and they will die. Now those who have more weight, like 2.8 to 3 kilogram, 3.5 kilogram, it is difficult to deliver through the pelvis. They are bigger inside, so difficult to deliver, so they will also die. So it is observed that those who have intermediate kind of character, they will get selected, isn't it or not? So nature is neither here selecting extremely low weight nor extremely high weight. Nature is selecting intermediate character. So it's an example of stabilizing selection. So stabilizing selection, one example is the birth of weight of the human. And second very important example is what, sickle cell anemia and malaria. Try to understand it. See, for understanding this snip, we have to understand how, the sickle cell anemia work in our patient body, right? And how it's related to malaria. Try to understand it. Sickle cell anemia, students, you all know sickle cell anemia is a condition in which red blood cells become sickle shaped. Red blood cells become sickle shaped, and in a severe cases, even person die also. Actually, why it happened? Try to understand it. See, normal hemoglobin have, students, hello, normal hemoglobin have two part. Normal hemoglobin present in red blood cell, and it have two part. One part is called heme, and second part is called globin. Okay, this heme, have Fe2 plus ion. It bind with oxygen, and that's why the hemoglobin carry oxygen. Now if you'll see this globin part, this globin part is a protein part. Heme was a non-protein part, it was a ring, actually it was a porphyrin ring. Globin is protein part, and it have total 4 polypeptide chain, 2 alpha polypeptide chain and 2 beta polypeptide chain. Alpha polypeptides have 141 amino acid, beta polypeptide chain have 146 amino acid. Okay, the gene which are coding for beta polypeptide chain, unfortunately they will go through some kind of mutation, gene mutation. Beta gene, they will go through some kind of mutation, and now in the case of beta gene mutation, now they will no more form normal hemoglobin, actually hemoglobin. Why? Because they are one amino acid, glutamic acid, will replaced by valine. Now glutamic acid is a acidic amino acid, it's water soluble amino acid, and valine is a hydrophobic amino acid, right? It will make the hemoglobin molecule, least soluble, right? So what will happen? This person, this hemoglobin, will those who have sickle cell hemoglobin, this hemoglobin will be called, when beta gene will get mutated and glutamic acid will replaced by valine, then it will converted into sickle cell hemoglobin. Sickle cell hemoglobin. This sickle cell hemoglobin will make that red blood cell sickle shaped, and they will go, the person, will go through innumerable problems. Like what will happen, this sickle shape RBC are sticky, so they will get stick in the blood vessels, and the blood capillaries, and they will obstruct blood supply to the different organs, and there is chances of organ failure, right? Clear? Now you see the next situation, the sickle shape red blood cell, now they are no more biconcave shape like normal red blood cell. Normal red blood cells are biconcave shape, they are sickle shaped. So surface area for diffusion of oxygen will decrease. When surface area for diffusion of oxygen will decrease, obviously oxygen carrying capacity will decrease, and when oxygen carrying capacity decreases in our body, we call it anemia. So in sickle shape RBC you must see anemia, right? There will be more destruction. See, the red blood cells are 120 days, actually their weight, their lifespan, is 120 days. They will unable to complete their 120 days of lifespan. Red blood cell after 120 days they go to the spleen. Here before 120 days only they will come to the spleen, and they will spleen they will get broken because of sickle shaped, and lot of destruction of red blood cell will cause abnormally larger size of spleen, and abnormally larger size of spleen is called splenomegaly, right? Now we all know that when this red blood cell will break, hemoglobin will also break, and lot of hemoglobin will break abnormally. It will cause lot of bilirubin formation. Why? Because in this hemoglobin, heme part will break, and it will form a yellow color pigment, bilirubin. So abnormally lot of bilirubin will form, and that lot of abnormal bilirubin formation causes jaundice. So jaundice, splenomegaly, obstruction in the blood capillaries, anemia is possible, and it can cause death, right? So this is what, the pathology of that disease. Now come to genetics of the sickle cell anemia. Means how genes are acting here. You all know, in our 11th chromosome, students, at our 11th chromosome, hemoglobin gene present. Suppose this HBB is normal gene present on 11th chromosome. When this HBB are homozygous, they will produce absolutely normal hemoglobin. But when this HBB got mutated and it's converted into HBS, then it causes sickle cell anemia. Now student, three condition is possible. Those who are absolutely normal, HBB. So this HBB will form absolutely normal hemoglobin. This another allele will also form absolutely normal hemoglobin, and red blood cell of normal, they have not any kind of issue. Three situation I taken. One, suppose one girl name, her name is Stuti. Okay, Stuti you say, Srishti you say. Okay, this girl name is Srishti. Okay, another name is Meena, another name is Tina. So Meena have absolutely normal hemoglobin, HBB. They are forming normal red blood cells. Another case is Srishti. One gene, one allele is normal, absolutely normal. Okay, and another allele is HBS, that is mutated. Now this mutated one will form sickle cell hemoglobin. Okay, and this normal one will form normal hemoglobin. Both allele will form different type of hemoglobin. But as you know, this sickle cell mutation, this show codominant. Both allele expressions show codominant. Even in their red blood cell, sickle cell hemoglobin present, still their red blood cell will be normal shaped. And when their red blood cells are normal shaped, they will not face any kind of problem. But yes, they will be carrier for next generation. They will be carrier for disease for next generation. Okay. Next case you see HBS. Here both hemoglobin gene are mutated, allele are mutated. So both will form sickle shaped red blood cell, sickle cell hemoglobin, and the red blood cells are sickle shaped. That is the case of Tina. Now let's connect with malaria. Now suppose these all three are living in a particular area of the Africa where that region is a malaria prone. Lot of Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum are infecting individual. When Plasmodium falciparum will take blood meal of the Tina, their red blood cells are normal. So it will make that red blood cell delicious. They will easily survive in these all red blood cells, normal red blood cell, and Meena will develop malaria. Now Meena or those who have this normal red blood cell, there is chances of death due to malaria. Isn't it or not? Maybe they have benefit on sickle cell anemia, but malaria, they will be more malaria prone, more susceptible to malaria. Malaria cases are high here. Clear? Now you see the next situation about Srishti. Srishti have normal, even she is actually, see, even she is carrying one HBS mutated gene, still their red blood cells are normal. Okay, where at one side she is getting protection from the sickle cell anemia, in another condition what happened, in the case of malaria, what happened, that malaria parasite, because of presence of sickle cell hemoglobin here, they will not survive in their red blood cell and they die. Are you getting what I'm saying? Their red blood cell have even sickle cell hemoglobin also, So in this sickle cell hemoglobin containing red blood cell, they will not survive and they die. So chances of malaria is low here. Okay. In this third case you see, they will die due to sickle cell anemia. Most of them will die due to sickle cell anemia. But yes, if they survive anyhow, so they have benefit that malaria cases. will be low here. Yes. One population which is extreme, that is dying through due to the sickle cell anemia. Another population that is dying to the malaria. But see, you see, Srishti, she is getting protected from sickle cell anemia also, and she is getting protected from malaria also. Why? Through due to sickle cell anemia, she have intermediate character. She is heterozygous. Why malaria? She is heterozygous. So she is getting benefit of intermediate character or not? So in population their number will be highest. HBS, HBB individual, their number will be highest. This is what the benefit those who have intermediate character of sickle cell hemoglobin. Remaining we'll see in next video.